You know, as pet owners, we do everything we can to keep them safe. But what if the biggest dangers aren't actually outside, but are hiding in plain sight right inside our own homes? Today, we're going to walk through our houses together and find those hidden risks so we can make your home a true safe haven for your best friend. So let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. How safe is your home, really? Especially for that curious cat who gets on every countertop, or that new puppy who thinks absolutely everything is a chew toy. You know how it is. It just happens in a split second. A single pill accidentally dropped on the floor, a plate of leftovers you were just about to put away. For our pets, these little moments can turn into a real emergency. So in the next few minutes, we're going to pinpoint these exact risks and give you the knowledge you need to protect your family. And what makes this all so tricky is that we aren't talking about some rare exotic poisons here. Nope. The biggest threats are almost always everyday items, just hiding in plain sight all around your house. So let's start where all the best smells are, the kitchen. I mean, for us, it's the heart of the home, right? But for our pets, it can be a paradise of tempting and, yeah, potentially really dangerous tastes. Of course, we have to start with the most famous one, chocolate. We all know it's a big no-no, but why it is what's really important. Chocolate has two chemicals, theobromine and caffeine, that our dogs and cats just can't process the way we can. And here's the single most important thing to remember. The darker and more bitter the chocolate, the more toxic it is. So if your pet does get into chocolate, what are you looking for? Well, the signs can be all over the map. It might start with just some vomiting or diarrhea, but it can quickly escalate to your pet being super restless, having a racing heart, and in the worst cases, tremors and even seizures. It's because the symptoms are so varied that it's just critical to call your vet immediately, even if it seems like a minor thing at first. Okay, now for a really sneaky one, xylitol. This is an artificial sweetener and it's popping up everywhere. You'll find it in the obvious stuff like sugar-free gum and candy, but it's also hiding in some really surprising places like certain toothpastes and even some brands of peanut butter. This is why you absolutely have to start checking the labels. It is so important for dog owners. For dogs, xylitol is unbelievably dangerous. As a vet, I can tell you this stuff works scarily fast. What happens is it tricks their body into releasing a massive wave of insulin, which causes their blood sugar to just crash. The signs come on so fast. You'll see vomiting, weakness, they might seem uncoordinated and then collapse, and in the most severe cases, it can cause irreversible liver failure. All right, leaving the kitchen, let's head to the bathroom. You know, the medicine cabinet is consistently one of the top sources of accidental poisonings that we see in pets. I'm going to give you a rule that I tell every single one of my clients. Never, ever give your pet a human pain reliever unless your vet has explicitly told you to. Things like ibuprofen can cause terrible stomach ulcers and even kidney failure. And acetaminophen, Tylenol, is incredibly toxic to cats. It actually destroys their red blood cells, which means they can't carry oxygen through their body. It is a true emergency. And it's not just the over-the-counter drugs. Common prescriptions like antidepressants or ADHD medications can be really toxic to our pets. But here's one that might actually surprise you. Even your pet's own medication can be a risk. A lot of them are flavored to taste like a treat, right? So if a curious dog finds that bottle, they might just eat the whole thing. Okay, let's head out to the garage and the garden. These areas, they often have some of the most potent and, honestly, lethal hazards a pet can possibly find. The danger with most antifreeze boils down to one ingredient, ethylene glycol. And here's the truly heartbreaking part. It has a sweet taste. Pets are actually drawn to it. A tiny little puddle on the garage floor can be tempting, and it takes such a small amount. We're talking as little as a teaspoon sometimes, to cause fatal kidney failure. At first, the signs can be really deceptive. Your pet might just look a little wobbly or kind of drunk, but this can quickly progress to seizures as their kidneys start to shut down. If you even suspect your pet got into antifreeze, it is an absolute race against time. You have to get to an emergency vet. Now, rat and mouse poisons are, well, they're designed to be deadly. The problem is, to get a rodent to eat them, they're often made with tasty things like grains or peanut butter, which of course are the same things that attract our own pets. Okay, so here's the deal. There isn't just one kind of rat poison, and they all work in different scary ways. Some of them are anticoagulants, which cause internal bleeding. Others are neurotoxins that cause the brain to swell. And some of the newer kinds cause a massive, fatal spike in calcium that just destroys the kidneys. Every single one is a major medical emergency, and if you can, knowing which type it was is critical for treatment. So many common household plants can cause anything from a mild stomachache to some pretty serious illness. But I want to pause here and give a very specific, very serious warning to all the cat owners out there about one particular kind of flower. And I'm talking about true lilies. So, tiger lilies, day lilies, Easter lilies, stargazers, these are absolutely lethal to cats. Every single part of the plant is toxic. And I mean, even a few grains of pollen that they lick off their fur or one sip of water from the vase can cause severe and irreversible kidney failure within days. If you have a cat, I am begging you, please do not have these lilies in your home. Okay, wow, we have covered a lot of really scary stuff. But now comes the most important part, empowering you. Let's talk about what to do, exactly what to do if the worst happens. Because having a plan can literally save your pet's life. First things first, take a deep breath and calmly get your pet safely away from whatever the toxin is. Second, if you can do it safely, grab any packaging or even a sample of what they got into. This information is so valuable for your vet. And third, and this is the most important part, call for help right away. Please do not wait for symptoms to show up. With so many of these poisons, by the time you see symptoms, a lot of damage has already been done. These numbers right here can save a life. I want you to take a second right now. Go ahead and pause this if you need to, and save these numbers in your phone. The ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center and the Pet Poison Helpline, they're staffed 24/7 by veterinary experts who will give you immediate life-saving advice. Of course, the very best emergency plan is the one you never have to use. A few simple, consistent habits can turn your home from a potential minefield into the safe haven that your pet truly deserves. It really all comes down to this. Your veterinarian is absolutely your partner in your pet's health, but you are there on the front lines every single day. By just being aware and being proactive, you become your pet's most important line of defense against all of these common household dangers. Remember, this information is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional veterinary advice. If you have any concerns about your pet's health, please consult with your certified veterinarian. They are your best resource for ensuring your companion lives a long, happy, and healthy life.